Hi there guys, this video is going to be on the Leshiy 2. What we're going to be doing is I'm just going to be giving you a bit of an update on what's going on with the rifle, and I'm going to also show you fitting the black bits that I'm currently selling on eBay. So this is going to be the first video on the Leshiy 2 in a little while, but I have been tinkering with the Leshiy in the background. If I'm honest, I've been struggling trying to get this thing to group at 50 yards. Anything around 30 to 35 yards it is an absolute laser. But as soon as you push it out a little further, it seems to open up on the groups. And since the only day I get to test the rifles is on Saturday, it's been a little difficult to do different types of testing and see the results. Having said that, I think I've got my head around it and we're starting to see some better results. So don't worry, that information will be coming shortly and I'll share whatever I find with you guys. Right, with that out of the way, let's start fitting the black bits. Okay then, so I've separated the rear action from the rifle. These are the three parts I sell on eBay. The two black butt pieces and the little black button. So we'll start off fitting the black button first. And that's just with a 2.5mm Allen key and undoing the screw at the front here. And then the new button can be just installed in place of the old one. Like so. Still works as it should. So next we'll tackle the butt pieces. So for the top one I like to get a nice large punch, get it in the hole and then lever it out. Comes out nice and easily. All you have to do is mind that you don't scratch the anodizing when you lever the butt piece out. I'll stick that to one side. And then the bottom one here can be pushed out from this side. So again I like to use a punch. Put it in the swivel hole there, just with a nice firm push. It should come out nice and easily. Now I've already had my butt pieces in and out a few times, so they are a bit softer. The first time I done them they were quite tight in the hole, so just be careful. And then the new black pieces can be simply pushed in the old holes. Now they are a little stiffer than the ones that you're taking out, but in reality when you're shooting it you're probably never going to notice. When I was 3D modelling them, I shot the rifle quite a few times with no back pieces in there at all, and I can say honestly that I didn't really notice any different. So, the new ones can just be pushed in the hole. They fit in there nice. Again, they are a bit stiff, so you might need a little bit of force to get them to seat down. But there you go. Looks much better, in my opinion, than the red ones. The red ones turn a little pinkish, they don't look so great after a little while. I've already swapped the gauge, but I'll show you how to get that out if you want to swap gauges. I think Francisco over at Edgun Spain is currently selling these, so you can pick them up from him if you want them. Now those bits are fitted, I'll show you how to remove the gauge and access this for painting. So first thing we need to do, degas the rifle. That's done with a 2mm Allen key and this little screw here. I only need to crack it loose. There is a ball bearing in the bottom of this, so if you take it out all the way, the ball bearing is going to get fired up, and you'll most likely lose it. I've already degassed it to save us a little bit of time. So first we need to take this circlip off. That's done with just some angled circlip pliers. Pull it off like so, and then the gauge can be simply pushed out the back. There it comes there. And then once the gauge assembly is out the rifle, we can use a 13mm spanner on the steel part of the bottom, and I like to use an adjustable spanner for the gauge, as I found no spanner really fits the flats across the gauge nice. So nice tight on the adjustable. Make sure you're gripping the gauge at the bottom here. If you grip it too far up, when you go to twist, they can be quite tight. You might end up crimping the top of the gauge. So it's always best to go right nice and at the bottom. Then it can be simply undone. There is an O-ring in the bottom, so no further sealant should be required. However, I did find my one was weeping slightly, so I just put some extra sealant around the top, which cured it. So I'm just going to refit my one. Nice and tight, and that's ready to go back in the gun. Just going to add some silicone oil to these O-rings here, just to lubricate them as they go in. Make sure there's no debris in here, and then push the gauge home. Find its seat, and then we can reattach the circlip at the back there. And there we have it, black gauge fitted. Just make sure it's nice and in line with the butt, as you can't rotate it when it's under pressure. Next I'll show you how to get this rear assembly out, and I'll show you how I painted my one. So first of all, you need a 4mm Allen key in this screw here. Once that's off, we can rotate this fill port cover here and just stick our fill probe in there. That'll stop it spinning from when it's in the rifle. Then we can just unscrew this bottom air cylinder. Once the air tube's off, we can take this section off here. That's done by using a 24mm spanner, or you could use an adjustable of course. Putting it on there, cracking it loose. It's quite a long thread. At this point we can remove our fill adapter. Take this O-ring off at the base here, and then press the fill adapter out from this side. So originally this had a red band around it, and that was simply painted on at the factory by Ed Gun. I didn't really like it that much, so I just painted over it with some black satin paint. All I did was rotate it so that the fill port was covered, masked off this section here, the little aluminium piece in the end here. Then I just put some blue tack over this end and sprayed the sides. You only really see a very narrow portion of it when it's in the rifle. I just keyed the surface up quickly with some 600 grit wet or dry, and then sprayed over the top. Nice and easy. Right, so I'm going to put it back in the rifle, and to do that is simply the reverse of what we did before. So firstly, I'm going to just put some silicone oil on this O-ring here. Push it in from this side. Stick our fill adapter in the end there. Slide the O-ring back on. Again, just putting some silicone oil around it to stop it drying out. Then we can put our tube assembly back on. Doing it up with our big spanner. Making sure that our fill adapter goes in and out nice and easily without resistance. It is possible at this stage to just give it a tweak backwards and forwards to make sure it's perfectly in line. So once that's done, we're just going to add some more silicone oil to this big O-ring here. And then finally we can put the little plastic brace back on and do that up with a 4mm Allen key. And there we have it. All we need to do before we fill it up with air is make sure everything's in line by looking down the gun, making sure that everything is nice and at 90 degrees to each other, so the gauge and the valve assembly is nice and in line, which it is, so it's ready to be filled back up with air. Not forgetting of course to tighten our little bleed screw at the front here. Okay then, so the last thing I'm going to do is fit a black AR style grip. So all we need to do is unscrew the screw at the back here that's holding the grip on. In my case it's a 4mm Allen key, and yours it may be different, as this is a custom grip. Be careful of this little steel part here. It is loose in the back of the gun, so we'll tip that up like so. Put our new AR style grip on there, and then reinstall the screw. And there we have it, AR style grip on the Leshiy 2. Finally, we're going to add a black magazine. You can get these from Ed Gun Spain. And then we'll put the whole rifle together. And there we have it, a Leshiy 2, with all the red parts replaced. Everything's nice and black, all matching. It really does look nice. I think I'm going to keep the red grip on mine as I like the feel of it better, but the rest of the black accessories make the rifle so much nicer to look at in my opinion. Coupled with the Valkyrie fore end, it really is a nice bit of kit. Okay then guys, that's going to about do it for this one. Like I said before, the black buttons and the black butt pieces are available on eBay, as are the speed loaders. They're back in stock now, and I've got all the calibers again. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.